Thank you so much for staying with us. The Trinidad and Tobago Red Force withstood a stunning knock by Russian Primos to beat the Barbados Pride by 10 runs and advance to the final of the CG Insurance Super50 tournament. In the first semi-final, a day-night affair played on Wednesday, the Red Force piled up 312 for 6 from their allotted 50 overs. Nicholas Pooran led them with 111 from 82 deliveries. Amir Django 81 and Darren Bravo 54. They also scored half-centuries. Shamar Springer was the pick of the Pride bowlers with 4 for 64. They set 313 for victory. The Pride fell 10 short despite a majestic unbeaten 130 by Roshan Primos. The 27-year-old's knock came off just 80 deliveries and included 10 fours and 9 sixes. Shannon Gabriel was the pick of the Red Force bowlers with 4 for 43, as Barbados finished at 302 for 8. While the Jamaica Scorpions are currently taking on the Guyana Happy Eagles in the second semi-final, and Nikhil Uttamchandani is one of the commentators for the tournament. He joins us from the Sir Vivian Richards Stadium. Nikhil, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon to you, Maria. Thanks a lot for having me on the zone.
Always a pleasure. I'll start by, can you just give us an update as to what's taking place at Sir Viv Richards Stadium right now? Because we had to come on set, so maybe you're the best person to tell us.
Well, actually, the Harp Eagles have posted a very strong 318. 50s for both Sharon Hetmeyer and Leon Johnson, getting 30, but Sherpin Rutherford and that partnership between Hetmeyer and Rutherford in the middle, 106 runs between them, I think, has already set the biggest total of the CG United Super50 Cup. Score at just under 6 runs per over in the middle overs 11 to 40, and that's where teams have struggled in this competition. And it's going to take some getting, but as we saw last night from Roshan Primus, I think anything is possible. So you can't write off Jamaica with the power of Rodman Powell and Brandon King just yet.
Yeah, definitely can't write off anybody. Now, last night's match, Red Force up against Barbados Pride. I know you would probably been supporting Barbados secretly, if not publicly. What did you make of that performance? I have to say I was extremely impressed with, of course, Nicholas Pooran getting that century on his bat, and Amir Django, the youngster, getting the opportunity and capitalizing on it.
Yeah, definitely not supporting any team cricket at the end of the day, but it was great to see the runs on display. Firstly, by Pooran and Amir Django, as you mentioned, 100-run partnership between the two of them from just 101 deliveries after they had a slow start. They were 28 for 2 after the first 10 overs, but in the last 10 is where they really made up for it. They scored 113 runs. And it's a trend we're seeing continued in this tournament, even today, where the Guyana team scored 99 in the last 10. So the way that Pooran and Django went in the middle overs and then Akil Hussain finished with his 42 from 20, that was superb. But then to see Roshan Primus and the way he went about things with his 130 from 80 deliveries, 94 of that 130 was in boundaries, and that has to be one of the most demonstrative innings I've ever seen in my life. It was just crazy to witness.
Yeah, pity such an innings didn't lead to a victory. Just a minute with you left, Nikhil, so it's proper to ask you the Shibra and Hetmeyer innings, the Sherfin Rutherford innings as well. For those who didn't see it, stroke-filled innings, streaky shots, or proper cricketing shots from two good batsmen today?
Well, definitely Hetmeyer, I think, just was very aware of the field. Hit to the smaller side here at the Sir Vivian Richards Stadium. And, George, when you look at the tournament that both Rutherford and Hetmeyer has had, Hetmeyer's only averaged 18 and Sherfin Rutherford's only averaged 17. But for them to get 250s today when it matters most for their team, coming into this against a Jamaica side that have a very strong bowling lineup, I think it was just a big achievement in itself. But definitely Shimon Hetmeyer is one of the more skilled players, a man that's averaged 35 at the one international level. This was due for a long time in this tournament, and to see him come good now for the Guyana Harp Eagles to put the biggest total on the board, I think is a massive achievement from him, and I think they have a lot of runs with a very good spin attack to defend.
Flat track?
Yeah, it's definitely been probably the best batting track here that we've had at Sir Vivian Richards Stadium. A different pitch to the one used yesterday, but definitely this has been the quickest, but also the best for batting, and I think it's played pretty true, and that's why you've got 318 on the board now.
Excellent, thank you very much. Go and punch the clock, my friend. All the best.
Thanks a lot for having me, guys.
Good. Nikhil Uttamchandani, our cricketing expert who's working hard at the CG United Super50 tournament over there, that game being played in Antigua. So that Russian Primus innings captivated everyone. The cricket group that Lance and I talked to you about, everybody was talking.
I've heard so much about this
Yeah,
group.
the prime was, everybody was contributing, watching this man destroy the bowling. And, you know, it was look, the Red Force got there in the end. Nicholas Pooran's 111. Very, very good knock. I mean, it's a century, so you don't even have to talk it up too much because it is what it is. It's a century. It must be a magnificent knock in a 50-over game.
Lots of sixes.
Yeah, but Primus's innings, man, you'd want to see this raising the hands aloft at the end of the game, toasting a winning effort. But they just fell, well, they fell just short of target. Nobody was spared. Sunil Narayan, everybody dispatched to the boundary with ridiculous ease and the power, the blistering power of Primus. One of the best innings I would have seen in regional Super 50s in a long time, I have said.
Yeah, I have to say that, you know, I enjoyed looking at both teams. Competitive cricket, of course. And I mentioned Amri Django, he got 80 odd. Also pleased to see Darren Bravo among some of the run scorers. You know, we talk about these Super 50 competitions as the opportunity for players to, of course, get back form, to get those runs on the bat, to find back their confidence. And I'm happy to see not just one player getting a century, but two, and of course, many others getting 50 odds.
Yeah, and given how last evening's semi-final went, where 300 plus, you said, that's a winning score.
And we were joking.
Yes, 318 for 9. It's a lot of runs, but I'm not calling the winner just
After
yet.
yesterday, we could never.
No, I'm not.
All right, well, let's take a quick break and come back. A lot more on the show.